Greetings to friends and enemies alike. I thought I'd give a video a go because why not? It's the way things are done. This is going to be a look at the Athom 6-channel energy meter. So it comes in your generic padded envelope and then the box. I've already been into this. So for about £55 UK, you get the meter and you get 6 CT clamps. So that's and a nice little pamphlet that links you to has some basics, links you to the Github and that kind of thing. So let's put this out the way. CT clamps are CT clamps. Basic, do the job. But a nice little thing is that they come pre-crimped with ferrules on the end for connecting. It's a little thing, but it's really handy. So the actual unit, solid little unit. So you attach your CT clamps down the bottom. You put your live and neutral in here, and you've got your standard ESP, say two buttons here. There's also a USB-C, which you can use for programming and whatnot. Obviously, in normal operation, you wouldn't use USB because then it wouldn't be attached to mains to get the signal. So it connects to DIN rail. This might be a little bit flimsy, but that's the nature of something that clips on the DIN rail. I guess it might break, but other than that, it's fairly sturdy. So let's pop the top off, which is just 4 screws. I've already been into this, so it's not a surprise for me. When you open this up, be careful because the antenna is connected. They went with this version of the package for the ESP32, which means that you have a separate antenna, which is handy if you've got this mounted on DIN rail. Chances are it could be in a metal box, so you could run your own antenna outside the box. It does look like that they planned for various options in this. As you can see, they have this set up. The components are not populated, but they could have used a different package. I don't know why they went with having 2 options available. It's maybe they pick the cheapest one when the production run happens, or maybe it's there's other versions coming later on and they want to use the same board, which makes a lot of sense. So over on this corner we have the mains power supply. There's a little slot for separation there. It's got warnings on both the top and the bottom of the "don't touch this, you will have a very bad day if you touch this" warnings, which I agree with. Even if it's been powered down, there's some capacitors on there. I'm not entirely sure if they'll be drained off or not, but be careful either way. So on the chip itself, you can see here we've got an unpopulated header. These connect to the pins on here, which is actually really useful because this looks originally like it was for a SPI screen, and the firmware has some hints about that with what the pins are labeled. So as it doesn't have a screen, maybe future versions will, you can reprogram the board and use these, and you can just drop a header on here, so you don't have to try and delicately solder. You can just slap a header on there and plug into it. There are some unused pins. these two, I think it was, and one of the ones up here, which you could also use, but that does mean you will have to solder onto these tiny little pins, and that's going to be really difficult. If you're a professional solderer, then sure, why not? But you probably want to avoid it, especially the ones down here next to the wireless antenna connection. That's going to be really difficult. You don't have a lot of room. You might end up causing some interference. Unless you desperately need the extra pins, I wouldn't bother. The UART pins up here are connected to it as well. So if you wanted to use the UART pins, you could disable the UART in the firmware and use a couple of extra pins there. You could use the bootstrap pin as well. It's not recommended, but you could do it. The point is you get a lot of exposed pins if you want them. These here appear to be for a screen if you were using this package and are not connected to anything currently. And this, I don't know what it's for, but it looks like exposes the extra IOs available on the this package. Whether they have plans for this and maybe another peripheral, that's we'll see in the future, I guess. But yeah, it's a very solid little unit and has a lot of easily accessible pins for adding additional connections. So it will be very easy to add some relays to this board, and then you could have not only 6 monitored circuits, you could switch them as well. You can, of course, put an I/O expander on here. Have lots and lots of connections. You've got a lot of options. There's things you can do. The LEDs are all connected via one pin, so they don't take up a lot of space. But you can use those as you wish. Yeah, I'll be honest. For the price point, I'm very impressed with this little device. We'll give another quick shot of the back, which is very basic. You know, just most of the stuff surface mount over here, but you've got a view through hole on the power supply and the screw terminals. So then easy enough to pop back together. And we can snug these up. So, as I said, you've got the DIN rail, but you've also got the lugs on the edge for mounting to a panel if you want, or you know, anything you could fathom. It's an extremely flexible little piece of kit. So I like it. Anyway, thank you for watching.